Enjoying Cadwell Park and just about to enjoy it thoroughly. The competitors for the Buff Super Mono and Nitro Moto 450s. 2 championships in one in these races. It's been fantastic fun all season, and we expect more of the same here at Cadwell Park. Down to Steve on the grid.
Lining up on the grid for their first race of the day, it's the Buff Super Monos and F450s. The Super Monos, of course, are single-cylinder 4-strokes, and then these beautiful Aprilia 450s are ex-Super Moto machines. Robin, it's over to you in the commentator's box.
Thanks very much, Steve. Yes, lovely combination here. Danny Murphy, Ben Gautry and Ivan Porter on the leading Super Mono on that front row. Phil Page, Will Hodgson and Liam Shelcock, the second row. They're all Moto 450s. And then Mark Hughes, Ari Lane and Michael Burge, all Super Monos on that third row, but away they go at the start. And Ivan Porter absolutely steaming into Coppice for the first time. I think he's probably going to be second when we get to the top of the hill at Charlie's, but fantastic start. Ben Gautry from pole position, Steve.
Yep, Ben's got away very, very well. He's doing well this weekend, very consistent, nice to see. Ivan Porter, of course, on that Rotax 660. It's a nice big engine fit into pretty much a 125cc frame, isn't it? So that's why it's so nimble and quick round Cadwell.
And already the ex-European Super Mono champion Mark Laws, who had his poorest qualifying. He was one of those caught out with the horrible weather, only qualified in 11th place, but he's up into third there. Really about a third of the way around the first lap, absolutely steaming along. Keep an eye out for that number 5 machine, the BMW 720 of Mark Laws. There he is in third, behind number 4 Ivan Porter, but at the front it's young Ben Gautry that leads this as they run up to the mountain for the first time.
Yeah, Will Hodgson, current championship leader for the 450s. Mark Laws, number 5, championship leader for the Super Monos. As we just see number 51, Mark Hughes, go up in towards the mountain. Just a quick hello to Martin Jarvis, number 41 in the Super Monos, who turned 50 this weekend. So life begins.
Well, it certainly does for some. We'll wait till we get there, eh, Steve? And here comes across the line Ben Gautry. And look at this, Mark Laws just there, been nibbled at by Danny Murphy, but Laws using that 720cc's of the BMW to retake that position. But look at this, up the front, Ivan Porter on a real charge, and that looks like a problem, Steve, for Ben Gautry.
Yeah, he just ran wide on the exit of Charlie's there, and all his speed was compromised, and that has let a couple of bikes go past. Just shows you around Cadwell Park, if you don't get your lines right, it can really cause you some serious problems.
Yeah, there is a huge cost, and my goodness me, there are an awful lot of bits and pieces to Cadwell Park that are complicated. There's many a way to lose half a second or even a second here and there, and that's without doing anything particularly dramatic. There, further back, we see Blake Wolds working hard on the Moto 450, but up the front, Mark Laws, Ivan Porter and Danny Murphy in third now. Ben Gautry just dropping back into 4th place.
You see Ben Gautry going, reaching for the sky over the mountain. Blake Wolds, of course, number 19, as we just mentioned, is a newcomer to the 450s this weekend and set to be a regular. Look at all these Super Monos and the 450s going through Hall bends all together. There's 7 of them there, all in one big bunch.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. In the back of that bunch was Jonathan Good, who is a regular point scorer in Super Monos. Some great battles all the way down the field, but you can see Mark Laws has taken over at the front and arms raised. It's red flags, I'm afraid. There's an incident up at the gooseneck. All will be brought to a halt.
As you can see, that race got stopped due to an incident on circuit. We can see here some of the race leaders from the Super Monos just making some minor adjustments ready for the restart, which should be going ahead any time now.
Well, thanks very much, Steve. And there we see Mark Laws, who was just taken over at the front when the red flags came out. But, of course, the grid will be reset to the last full lap before the red flags came out, so it'll be Ivan Porter on pole from Mark Laws and then Ben Gautry, and Ben gets another wonderful start there, away for the first time of asking in the second part of this 2-part race.
Yeah, it's time to get your long memory calculators out. The 2-part aggregate races, always a little bit confusing, but we'll try and keep you up to date with what's going on. Once again, Ivan Porter, Ben Gautry getting off to a good start. Danny Murphy there, number 23 in third. There's number 100, Connor Tagg. Oh, and there was nearly a little bit of a tangle there for Connor. Got to be a bit more careful than that.
Yes, Connor Tagg having a better time this weekend. Didn't have such a good Snetterdon, but he's looking very good here at Cadwell Park. Ivan Porter still leads then from Gautry, from Murphy. Then Connor Tagg up in the fourth. That's Ariel Lane there, who's had a great start in this second part of the race, ahead of Dave Harnett. And I tell you what, Steve, Mark Laws did not get away. At the end of that first lap, he pulled in. I think he has a mechanical problem, so the former European champion will not be in the results of this one.
There he is in pit lane there, Robin. So problems for Mark Laws. Team looking around the bike.
It's completely broke, look. What broke?
Rear shock just broke.
Oh, goodness me, what bad luck. A rare DNF for Mark Laws. No points to him in this then. Well, as always, somebody's bad luck is other people's good luck. And Ivan Porter enjoying himself at the front of this one. And there, Dave Harnett working hard down through Hall Bends. But, well, there, Ivan Porter just holding it at the moment. And yes, he'll take the checkered flag. And on countback, well, he was only a fraction behind Mark Laws in the first part of this race. So when you add the two parts together, that is going to give an overall win to Ivan Porter. And, of course, the win in Supermono ahead of Dave Harnett, Jonathan Good, Ariel Lane, Mark Hughes and Martin Jarvis. And in the Moto 450s, we have a win for Danny Murphy from Ben Gautry, Connor Tagg, Phil Page was fourth, Will Hodgson fifth, and Blake Woods finished in sixth. And there we see the local health and safety committee just testing the top strand of Cadwell Park's fencing. We'll be back with action after the break.